I won my district school Smash tournament with the worst character in the game. If you don't know, Smash Bros is a competitive video game where you launch your opponents off the stage. There is a wide variety of characters and stages to choose from, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. This means a lot to me, as it's kind of what built my love for Smash Bros and esports today. If you understand how fighting games work, you probably understand that some characters are better than other characters. At the time that I had accomplished this feat, the Smash Bros tier list looks something like this. I made the character Pikachu, who sits right at the top of the tier list here. However, the reason I had won the tournament had nothing to do with Pikachu at all. It would actually have to do with the character that I secondaried at the time called Little Mac. In a game where you need to move around a lot, Pikachu excels. He's fast, he has good combos, and he can recover from ludicrously low places. Little Mac, however, has just about none of that. If you sneezed on him wrong, he would have no way of recovering back to the stage. Also, his hits in the air hurt less than getting smacked by a wet pool noodle. So naturally, he's considered to be the worst character in the game, and he sits right at the bottom of most tier lists. However, despite all of this, he's pretty fun. And in friendly matches, I started winning with him a lot. I continued to mess around with the character, but it was definitely time to get serious. It was currently October, 1 month before Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest was a school district tournament that me and my friends had put together in order to determine who really was the best. I was ranked 3rd at my school at the time, and with the entire district showing up, all cards were definitely on the table. Leading up to this tournament, I wanted nothing more than to win the whole thing. Nothing else mattered more. Winning this tournament would be the biggest feat I had ever accomplished. A feat that could really only be stopped by one person. Austin. Now, what I said about Pikachu earlier is true, right? He is a really good character, perhaps even the best character in the game, but he does have one glaring weakness. A character played by none other than Austin. You see, Austin was the only person in my entire school that I had never beaten. And needless to say, I don't play anybody who does well against Austin, let alone Mr. Game & Watch. All this and more was scavenged at the back of my mind the day of. The day went overall great. I sailed right through the bracket. I made it through pools, I made it through top 16, I made it through top 8, and eventually I made it to Winners Finals. At Winners Finals, I had to fight the best player at my school, Peter, which went mostly without a hitch.
Oh. He's gonna have it. This is huge. Oh!
He's gonna steal the entirety of it!
No!
What? What just happened? What just happened?
And with that out of the way, I was on winner's side of Grand Finals. And Austin was nowhere to be found. He lost in winner's semis. Everything was going in my favor. Maybe I don't have to fight Austin after all. Maybe I can do this. And to my dismay, definitely not his dismay, but my dismay, he went on a tear in losers. He even beat Peter in the run back, who he originally lost to in winner's semis. And people were saying none of them were close. He was just beating everybody. And he eventually made it to loser's side of Grand Finals to fight me. So, Grand Finals was a standoff between me and my mortal enemy, Austin. I remembered everything I had gone through up until that point. Everyone knew I'd never beaten Austin. Nobody believed in me. Not one person. Except one person. See, there was this freshman by the name of Kermit who came up to me and told me just how much he really believed in me. Everybody was saying I was gonna lose. Heck, I was saying I was gonna lose. I've never beaten Austin before. I don't even think I've beaten him in a friendly match, let alone a tournament setting where he just teared everybody up in losers. How am I gonna beat him here? So the words of Kermit really meant a lot to me. So I'll never forget Kermit, the one person that believed in me that day. Kudos to you, Kermit. If I was gonna win this tournament, it was not gonna be by any normal means. So, as a last-ditch effort and newfound confidence courtesy of Kermit, I chose Little Mac. The commentators roared in shock. I could hear them from where I was sitting. They thought I was being desperate or reckless and just throwing it all away. So, after game 1 ends, I lose. You know, I lost. I lost the game. Look, losing one game isn't the end of the world, but in a situation where all I can do is win, it's pretty dire. But I wasn't ready to quit. You see, when I was losing, I saw something. I saw a crack in his armor, in his game plan, against my Little Mac. I saw something that nobody else saw. I saw fear. I saw the fear of losing to the worst character in the entire game. Losing to me, the guy who's never beaten him. So naturally, I decided to stay Little Mac. At this point, everybody believed I was desperate. And to everybody's surprise, and definitely my own, I won. And of course, people were shocked. It's not like Little Mac does that much better against Game & Watch, really. Like, if anything, he does worse. But it's that fear I saw. It's that glint. It's the fact that I saw a way to win. After Game 2, we both switched out our characters, but the damage had been done. I win Game 3. And then Game 4 happens.
And he is going to get on top.
He knows he won't have another chance to use it if he uses it this time.
Unless he has a petty walk that's killing 80-90. And that's not as safe.
And
There's a back air.
He won't be probably won't have been able to get him.
Forward throw, he wants him off stage. Oh, the trade. Dash attack trade.
Oh, another back air.
He's playing so surprisingly calm.
No!
Surprisingly.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
The sniper!
This clip means more to me than just about anything, really. I've rewatched this clip over 100 times, and I still remember it, even though it was 4 years ago, clear as day, as if it was just yesterday. Even in situations where no one believes in you, even in situations where you don't believe in you, if there's a will, there's a way. And yes, even if you don't have a Kermit to give you the confidence you need last second, just throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Try, fail, and then try again, because that's the fun of it. And yeah, you won't always win, but you can always try. I'll see you later.